becomes kite.
Silent E doesn't make a sound. Silent E doesn't make a sound.
C-A-P. Make the word cap. If you add an E to the end, cap becomes keep.
Silent E doesn't make a sound. Silent E doesn't make a sound.
C-U-B. Make the word cub. If you add an E to the end, cub becomes
Silent E doesn't make a sound. Silent E doesn't make a sound.
T-O-T. Make the word tot. If you add an E to the end, tot becomes tote. P-E-T. Make the word pet. If you add an E to the end, pet becomes Pete. Can, cane, tap, tape, man, main. Fin, fine, rip, ripe, dim, time. Hop, hop, rob, rope, not, note. Cut, cute, us, use, her, here.
Listen to the long A in these words.
Base, case and base, blaze, gaze and haze, brave, cave and grave. Are you ready for some more? Cane, crane and plane, cape, grape and shape, ace, race and face. We are not done yet. State, plates and grate, cake, bake and lake, game, safe and fame. Listen to the song with the silent E words. In Ape wore a cape when he tried to escape from the spooky cave. Then he jumped into the lake, but was scared by a snake. So he climbed up a crane and played a really silly game. I. Listen to the long I in these words. Like, bike, kite, bite, white, chime, dime, grind. Are you ready for some more? Five, drive, life, wife, fife, smile, pile, mile. We're not done yet. Pipe, stripe, wipe, rise, prize, wise, fine, dime. Listen to the song with the silent E words. I like to fly my kite, and I like to ride my bike. Sometimes I go for a hike under the pines and under the vines with my brand new friend named Ike. After walking our first mile, I found a shiny dime, which made me make a great big smile. And I felt like I won a prize. Listen to the long O sound in these words. Bone, cold, bone, broke, smoke, poke, vote, tote, note. Are you ready for some more? Code, road, strode, drove, stove, cove, home, dome, gnome. We are not done yet. Globe, Listen to the song with the silent E words. The wee little gnome wanted to go home, but first he had to phone his friend the moon to find out the secret code that was written on his note. When he finally got home, the gnome had an ice cream cone. Listen to long you in these words. Cute, mute, you, mew, cube, huge, pure, cure, fume, use, muse, fuse, you, boom, boom, boom. Sometimes you says ooh, just like in these words. Tube, loot, rude, duke, fluke, luke, tune, June, dune, prune, and plume. Listen to this song with the silent E words. The camel was very cute, but he was born a mute. So he learned to play the flute and make a tune on a sandy dune. Then he met a wise old mule who was a huge fan of the flute. Together they would play their tunes on the sandy dune in June. 8 is made with ATE. Listen to these words that end with the sound of 8. G says go, and 8 make the word gate. M says ma, and 8 make the word mate. D says duh, and 8 make the word date. You can't find 8 in these words like feet and hate, late and rate, skate and crate and plate. Let's listen for these words in this cute little song. Nate and Kate went on a date. They saw a movie that they both did hate. After the movie, they tried to roller skate. Then they got hungry and shared a pizza plate. When Tate asked her friend Kate how she'd rate that date, she said it was her fate that Nate would be her mate. IGHT are 4 letters. They only make one sound. IGHT are 4 letters. They say ite, ite, ite. F says but, and ite say the word bite. N says the, and ite say the word night. T says tut, and ite say the word tight. Ite can be found in light, right, and sight. Ite can be found in bright flight and fright. Once upon a time, there was a knight who saw a dragon he wanted to fight. Instead of going left, he went to the right because his suit was too tight. Then one day he had a fright. He thought that he lost his sight. But when the night turned to light, he saw the dragon had taken flight. I-G-H-T are 4 letters. They only make one sound. Ite, ite, ite. Three letters, O-A-T. They always say oat. Just like our words float and molt, gloat, boat, and throat. When B and oat are put together, they say boat. When C and oat are put together, they say coat. When G and oat are put together, they say goat. Some words can be heard in this song. Once there was a silly little goat who wore a great big dirty coat. He wore the coat when on the boat, even if something got stuck in his throat. The goat was glad that the coat could float, because it fell out of the boat. He would gloat about his floating coat all around the deep blue moat. E-A-T, together make the word eat. Eat, what do you like to eat? Pizza, fruit, or ice cream? But did you know that it's a phonogram too? And can be found in the words we use. Heat, hung and eat make heat. Meat, mug and eat make me. Seat, suck and eat make seat. There are many more words with the sound eat. You can hear it in beat, cheat, neat, treat, and wheat. Let's find out what Tom likes to eat. There wasn't much that Tom would eat. He stayed away from meat and anything with wheat. But when he had some eggs to feed and added them to some heat, he'd had a yummy treat. But that wasn't too neat. He'd finally take a seat and eat and eat and eat. I-D-E, I-D-E. Together they say I'd. R says R, R and I'd. Say the word ride. T says T, T and I'd. Say the word tide. S says S, S and I'd. Say the word side. You can find I-D-E in words like slide, glide, bride, wide, pride, hide, and stride. Listen closely and you will hear these words in this rhyming song. Amy walked with a dainty stride because she was the blushing bride. After the wedding she went for a ride in a carriage that was very wide. Her husband wanted to go on the slide, but Amy had too much pride. Instead they walked side by side to watch the ocean tide. Three letters, A-D-E. Together they say aid. Just like our words, glade and shade. Just like our words, trade and grade. J says J, J and aid. Say the word jade. F says Papa and aid. Say the word fade. M says Mama and aid. Say the word maid. study in the shade. She had a love for sparkly jade, so her studying books she did trade. Without her skills that she had made, her smarts would fade, not making the grade. 3 letters E-E-D, 3 letters E-E-D. They always say eat, they always say eat, just like our words, deed and speed, heed and steed, need, read and greed. When W and E are put together, they say weed. When S and E are put together, they say seed. When F and E are put together, they say feed. Some of these words can be heard in this story song. Once upon a time, a boy named Reed planted many, many seeds. They grew and grew and turned into weeds as far as the eye could see. The boy named Reed did a good deed. He picked up all the leafy weeds and brought them to the rabbit's house for all of them to eat and feed on many leafy weeds. Together they say I'm. L says look, L and I'm. Say the word line. N says no, no and I'm. Say the word nine. V says v, v and I'm. Say the word fine. You can find I and E in words like swine, shine, spine, dine, shrine, pine, and mine. Listen closely and you will hear these words in this rhyming song. Mickey the monkey swung on the vine. He went over the shrine and under the pine. He found a penny that sure did shine. With 8 more he had the number 9. He was late for his day to dine with the family of silly swine. Three letters O and E, together they say own. Just like our words, clone and bone, throne and stone. Z says z, z and o, make the word zone. T says t, t and o, make the word tone. B says b, b and o, make the word bone. Let's use some of these new words in a silly song that we've never heard. There was a man who lived in a zone. He sat on his throne that was made of bone. Far away he had a clone who sat on his throne that was made of stone. They would use a phone with a silly ringtone to talk about their very own zone. train, Spain and stain. Listen closely and you will hear these words in this rhyming song. I once was on a bluish train that took me over grassy plains. I looked out and saw it rain all over the country of Spain. I was clumsy and tripped on a chain, and oh, my ankle sure did sprain. I was in a great deal of pain and even had nasty stains. A-I-L, they say ale. A-I-L, they say ale. Give me an H, hot and ale. Spell the word hail. Give me a J, jot and ale. Spell the word jail. Give me an M, mum and ale. Spell the word mail. Let's keep cheering in our song with words that have ale. Nail, pill, tail, snail, trail, bail, whale, and rail. Listen to a funny song with this new sound. Once there was a pretty snail who liked to ride on a dog's tail. The dog would run up the trail until he reached the water pail. At the pail they played with the quail until they saw a man with mail. They chased the man to the jail until it started to heavily hail. Ew, ew, ew. Ew, ew, ew. O-L-E, they say oh. Let's make some words using O. P says papa and O. Say the word pole. M says mama and O. Say the word mole. S says sa and O. Say the word soul. H says ha and O. Say the word home. There are so many more old words like dole and roll, hole and plural. Let's use these words in a song that goes a little something like this. There once was a mole who lived in a hole. His only role was to climb a pole so he could help Nicole to clean her dirty old souls. Let's sing a wacky song that goes something like this. There was a young male who was looking kind of pale from riding on the back of a very large whale. On the back of this whale they were stuck in the gale, which is why a friend was looking so pale. AKE, they Are you ready? O-K-E, they say oak. Let's make some words using oak. J says jump, jump and oak. Say the word joke. P says pup, pup and oak. Say the word poke. C says cup, cup and oak. Say the word coke. SP says spot, spot and oak. Say the word spoke. There are so many more great oak words, like smoke and broke, choke and yoke. Can you use these words in a song that goes a little something like this? Tommy told a funny joke just before his mother spoke. She laughed so hard the windows broke. Then she began to choke on her ice cold Coke. Three letters A-C-E, they always say ace, just like our words. Place and space, trace and grace. R says r, r and ace, they say race. P says plump, plump and ace, they say pace. M says mump, mump and ace. We made the word mace. We made the word mace. Let's use some crazy new words and a silly new song that you've never heard. That you've never heard. Way out in space, in a very far off place, there was a race at a very fast pace. Some ships had grace and some were gone without a trace. There was even a pilot whose name was Mace. I-C-E, they say ice. Let's make some words using ice. D says duck, duck and ice. Say the word dice. M says monk, monk and ice. Say the word mice. R says rum, rum and ice. Say the word rice. M says nut, nut and ice. Say the word nice. There are so many more great ice words, like bice and price, twice and slice. Can you use these words in a song that goes a little something like this? There were three mice that were very nice. They ate all the cheese by the slice, and they sold their rice at a very high price. The letters O-S-E, they always say O's, just like in our words, clothes and those, pros and chose. R says r, r and O's, make the word rose. P says p, p and O's, make the word pose. N says n, n and O's, make the word nose. Let's use some of these O's words in a new song that you've never heard. Those three boys always tried to pose as best writers of paragraph prose. The day would come when their minds would close. They could never write what they chose, even if it were about a nose that really loved to smell a rose. let's make some words using aim. T says t, t and aim. Make the word tame. S says s, s and aim. Make the word same. N says n, n and aim. Make the word name. SH says sh, sh and aim. Make the word shame. There are so many words which use the sound aim, like game, fame, flame, and lame. Using these words, let's sing a quirky song that goes something like this. There once was a boy with a very odd name. Some say it was named to him, it's all the same. So one day that boy sought after fame. He danced to a song in a burning flame. The people still thought his dance was tame. So the boy hid his face, lost in his shame. The letters A, G, E together they say age, just like our stage word. And page, age and rage. W says wa, wa and H. Say the word wage. S says s, s and H. Say the word sage. C says k, k and H. Say the word cage. Listen for these words in this song. Once I read a page which spoke of a sage who sometimes would speak on a very large stage. At a very old age he lost his wage and he threw a fit of an angry rage, and now he speaks from a rusty old cage. Eat, gate, night, gold, meat. 8, 8, oat, eat, skate, light, bolt, meat. I ate